So I signed up for the closed beta, freaking loved the game. Instantly, the second I saw, speaking of mana, Swerve, the second I saw spell mana, I'm like, this game has the potential to be way better in every aspect of everything than any other card game.
Hey, what's going on, guys? We the people here. So before we get into this episode of the Mystic Shop podcast, I just have another. I'm sorry. Why I just noticed, like, as I'm recording this, I know you guys are gonna see the last episode, and you're gonna be like, yo, does this guy shower, bro? Yeah, I shower, bro. Trust me, I shower. Okay. I just didn't change my shirt because I'm like I said in the last one, I'm recording all of these in like one take because last week I didn't come out with a podcast episode, but we're gonna come out with all of them in 1 week. But I only have two announcements. First one, the generic one, bro. We gotta hit you guys with the YouTube stuff, with the SoundCloud stuff. We gotta remind you guys, because if we don't remind you, you're not gonna do it. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, guys. We really want to get our content out there so more people can see everything we have to show to the Legends of Runeterra community. The Mystic Shop podcast is here. We want people to know, guys. And also, don't forget to share the video with at least one person. At least one person. Just be like, yo, this podcast is cool, and I just want to show one person because we people said it. Like, it'll be cool. It'll be alright. But anyways, second order of business. I mean, in the last episode, I told you guys about the merch and stuff like that. That's still a thing. I'm gonna have the links down below and stuff like that. And that's pretty much it. Like, honestly, I mean, I don't have any other announcements, guys. Like, let's just get into the video. Like, Jdoza's here, bro. We brought him on. Jdoza, bro. Swerve got him on with us, and this episode is pretty cool. So, without further ado, let's just get right on into it. Enjoy the episode, guys. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mystic Shop Podcast, episode 41.
Right.
What's going on, everybody?
What's up, guys? We got three beasts from the Northeast up in here today. We have our special guest, Mr. Jdoza. I had the pleasure of not only meeting him in person today, but he also graciously accepted to be on the show. So we're gonna learn about him, and we're gonna pick his brain a little bit about card games and maybe what he thinks about the spoiler season that is now upon us. So welcome. How are you?
Good, man. Good. What's going on, guys? I'm excited to be on. It's awesome. I mean, obviously, it was freaking amazing getting to meet you in person earlier. I have not.
The pleasure was
first
mine,
one, man. Yeah, no, I appreciate that. First one though, like I thought for sure it was gonna be like Boulevard, of course, because I basically live with that guy at this point, or like Blevins or Casanova, like somebody I'd run into. But because of COVID and stuff, obviously, there hasn't been any events or anything like that, and now everybody's kind of just fingers crossed for a LAN for Worlds. And lo and behold, I go on a little bit of a trip. It's right in Swerve's backyard, and there we go. We're able to meet up.
I had just jumped on it. I'm like, dude, DM me. Like, I'm not gonna let this slip. We gotta make it happen.
Now that's amazing. I saw it on Twitter myself. I was like, wait, I think that's like upstate, bro.
I was there yesterday for lunch. What is this?
Yeah, I don't live too far, but no, it's nice. It's nice to have you on. Yeah, we're just gonna jump straight on into. So usually when we bring special guests on, we just ask them interview them a little bit. I'm sure as a caster, you've been on that side of the other side of the table a bunch of times. So now it's time to have you in the ringer a little bit, have you on the other side of the the opposite side of the table. But nothing like I said before, nothing too crazy though. But
yeah. I know I did say that I will answer any questions, so let's see where this goes here.
Oh no!
Hopefully, I'm not regretting that in the next 5 to 10 minutes. So.
No. Like I said, nothing crazy. But before we get into that, Swerve, what did you remind me?
I didn't want to interrupt you. I didn't want to. You were flowing. I had to let it go.
Did you guys forget to like make an announcement or something like that?
No, so to be honest, I think I've been doing okay or good with like the YouTube stuff because we put this on YouTube, so we like to say don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. You know, all that
Dude,
all that jizz.
He's doing great.
Yeah, I got you.
So guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Don't get down on yourself. You're doing a good job at it, man.
I try to remember, but like when we have some of these guests on, it's like, I just want to get into talking, bro. Like I don't care about none of that. But all jokes aside, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, guys. We're trying to get more people to find out about the Legends of Runeterra community, and that's just that. Honestly, like we just want more people to find out about the Legends of Runeterra community because we have a bunch of people. We have a lot of different personalities, and a lot of people don't really have a big following. So we need more community power.
Listen. We need more guys like Mad Wheels, who like Mad Wheels is in every single person's chat.
I'm convinced
he's
Mad
a
Wheels
robot.
is omnipresent at this point. Honestly, he is omnipresent. Like he is in every timeline.
Mad Wheels. I feel like I should know this person now. I'm kind of disappointed I haven't like seen them in chat or something.
Really?
Mad Wheels. Yeah, I'm totally like, Mad Wheels. Because I'm not gonna lie, like I feel like I talk to chat almost too much sometimes when we cast the OLS and stuff. I'm like, oh yeah, wait, shit, I should be like casting a game or something right now, right? But instead, go off on like a tangent with chat. Yeah. So I feel like I would definitely remember a name like Mad Wheels too. But props to him if he's in a lot of chats because I love there's so many awesome people in the community. And speaking of the community, that just they make their rounds kind of in everybody's chat, and I feel like it's a very close-knit community. Everybody knows each other, and they're constantly, hitting up everybody's channel, which is a super big help, not to just that channel, but to the community as a whole. So, good stuff.
Yep. Big facts. And also for the people that's gonna listen to this on SoundCloud, we do not forget about you guys. I know we don't be like, hyping the SoundCloud people up, but don't worry. We don't forget about you guys. We love that you guys listen to us, and we appreciate it.
Yeah.
But
just because we don't mention you all the time doesn't mean we hate you. It does not mean that. I promise you.
I promise you, bro. All right, enough of that. I'm ready to get into these interview questions.
Yo, let's get it.
All right. So, dang, where did it all start? Where did your love? Because I'm just gonna take a stab in the dark and say that you love card games. Because I mean, the step from being a card gamer and being a caster is like, I feel like it's like a higher step. So you have to love card games.
Yeah.
So where did that love for card games start?
Oh man. So technically, I always go back to, it's actually started with Six Flags technically, which is ironic because I just met Swerve technically after I went to Six Flags with my girlfriend. So when I was 8, I went to Six Flags Jersey, the one with King Decalic, the biggest roller coaster in the country.
Oh,
and I went with my parents. It was it was a family trip or whatever, and they were nice enough to let me bring my friend at the time, Ian. And so me and Ian were there, and I think in some random shop, at Six Flags at the time, they had somewhere that was selling Magic the Gathering portal decks. And we picked up a couple. Wow. I wish I saved those decks from when I was 8 until now, because those cards would be worth a crap ton of money. But so I had a blue portal deck and he had a black one, I think, and we just played the stock portal decks. And we just kept playing and playing and playing. And that's when I first learned how to actually play a card game, because prior to that, it was I was 6 years old and I bought Pokemon because Pokemon just came out and everybody did that. Right?
You just make up the rules as you go along and just do whatever you want.
I have Charizard, so I win.
Regular stuff. I don't care about.
You saw the cartoon, right? You saw the cartoon.
Yep.
It's over.
Yeah, like when I'm watching the cartoon, if he has Charizard, he always wins. So like that means it's the same for me, right? So, so yeah, and so Magic was where I first started to learn, and then when I really fell in love with card games was I actually stopped playing really, or actually that's a lie. When I was like 11 or 12, I started actually buying Dragon Ball Z, the very first Dragon Ball Z card game. That was like pretty with the sword that you like pull out to track. I don't know if you guys remember that.
No, yeah, I do. 100%.
And so I played that and I knew the rules with that a lot. And then, but there was no like public tournaments like at the card shop, stuff like that, because not enough people played that card game. And then slowly but surely, I started learning about Yu-Gi-Oh. So I went to my card shop down the street and I found out there's like this gathering of people that are constantly playing Yu-Gi-Oh each week. I started getting into Yu-Gi-Oh! And then
The
that's when
inner circle.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the inner circle. Like I broke
the
through,
council.
And, so I started going to like regionals and shonen jumps and stuff like that with Yu-Gi-Oh! And that's where I really learned how to play competitively, not just like play by the rules, but also play at that next level. Top some regionals and stuff like that, and but never really made it or thought it would ever be a career beyond like, hey, I can make some money off selling Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And then yeah, I just I just got into the online stuff when Hearthstone come out, and then now Legends of Runeterra, and it just kind of took off. It's yeah, but it all started with really Magic, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh! That like, and Dragon Ball Z, like those core games that everybody I feel grew up with.
Yeah, it's we've had quite a few people come on here, and it's a very rare occasion where not one of those three games is mentioned. Yeah. I guess you could put forth and call League of Legends a bridge to this game, but it's I think we've had Janky is like the only guy who's been like, yeah, I never played anything before. I bought a computer so I could play LOR. That guy's my hero.
Yep.
Like that guy's awesome.
He when he told us that, we were like, huh?
He's never played any card games before this. It
was no. He played card games. It's just he never played like any online card games at all.
Okay.
He just went straight from like Magic to Runeterra, which is not many people, honestly.
Yeah.
I think most people, they've played Hearthstone before, or at least like Shadowverse, something.
Yep.
Most people.
Shadowverse. That game.
Yeah, I actually enjoyed Shadowverse a little bit.
I don't mind it. It just never really took off like crazy,
I never touched it. I don't know anything about that game. But
okay.
It's Magic. It's it's all, a lot of those are just based off of mana systems and stuff like that. It's all the same stuff recycled over and over and over again. Different keywords, stuff like that. But
yeah.
Well, let's speak about a game that has a different kind of mana system and different keywords. Let's talk about Legends of Runeterra and where did you hear about it and what sucked you in?
So where did I hear about it? I'm pretty sure it was one of Riot's like they really hyped up one of their like announcement type things on Twitch they were doing where they like give everybody an update on Riot stuff.
Yep.
And they had announced Legends of Runeterra, and they had announced there was going to be a closed beta for it. And this was like the very first time Riot started telling people like, hey, guess what? We're going to do stuff outside of League of Legends. That's going to be, and Teamfight Tactics, I think, was technically out at the time. Or no, actually,
I don't think it was out yet.
I don't think it was. So I think they might have announced it at the same thing that I'm talking about. I can't recall exactly, but their core thing was still really League of Legends. And they announced that, so I'm like, oh hell yeah! Like I stopped playing Hearthstone for so long because I was like, I'm sick of this RNG bullshit.
So you're talking about we made a card game announcement. That one.
Yes. Yep. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm with you. Yeah. Great.
Yeah, I think because Umbridge was on that one, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think he was the one that actually like made the announcement alongside. I
can't remember the name.
There was I forget the other guy that was with him. I don't know, but anyways, so I learned about it, and I was on that train because I was sick of Hearthstone. I hadn't played it for like a year, and I was just kind of in like card game limbo. I didn't really know what to do. Magic the Gathering Arena wasn't a thing at the time, So I signed up for the closed beta, freaking loved the game. Instantly, the second I saw, speaking of mana, Swerve, the second I saw spell mana, I'm like, this game has the potential to be way better in every aspect of everything than any other card game has ever been. Because, just purely because of spell mana. That alone was such a, like, amazingly
it's
simple
very
concept,
exciting.
but
Very
so good.
exciting.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's how I learned about it, and I just kind of went all from there. I just kept playing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. So that, that passion about the game got you excited to do other things within the game other than just beyond playing. You began, announcing, shoutcasting these games, and talk to us.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm actually super curious about where did that start.
So okay, so how did this start? I'm trying to remember what actually got me into thinking like, hey, I'm gonna do something with this. I was playing a lot of beta, and I think this is what happened. I remember okay. This was like a perfect storm. This is why when people say sometimes as a content creator you have to get a little bit lucky. So I think this is where the luck kind of came in for me. So if I'm not mistaken, I might have these dates a little bit wrong, but I think that the closed beta started in maybe like July or August of 2019, or like June of 2019. Does that sound right? And then the open beta started in like September, October, and then went until Bilgewater released. And I think that's just right around that timeline.
Yep.
So the reason why that matters, and it's funny because Swerve knows this too from, my old trucking company I used to run with my father. We closed down because of a lot of, various reasons. It sucked. It was a really big turning point in my life. It was shitty. I actually wrote a blog post kind of about it on my website that I had shared with everybody. And it sucked. And I was thinking, like, what do I do? So I was at a point where I was out of a job, but I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna like immediately start. I'm gonna take a week or two to like get my head together. So while I'm doing that, I'm also internally freaking out, like, how the hell am I gonna make money? Like, I've never been on unemployment before. I've never done that my whole life. I've always had a job. I've always done all right. And I literally was like going on some of those websites where you can like take surveys to get money. Like I was doing literally everything I could to make money. I'm like, oh, this can't be too hard, right? Like I could just do online shit and like be fine. And then from those surveys, I was like, wait a second. YouTube kind of makes sense, right? Instead of just doing surveys, like I could make videos, and then that would it kind of like it just got more and more into like, okay, from YouTube, well, maybe I could do it just on video game content. And then, oh, hey, look, there happens to be this card game I'm super interested in right when I closed down this business with my father, and I'm trying to make money online. So let's just like squish all those together and try to make something of it. And then I got into I actually had not used Discord prior to that. I had not used Discord. You want to talk about being a boomer, all right? I had not used Discord. So I hopped into Discord, and then that's when I found the Duels of Runeterra Discord. And I started talking to people and just being like, hey, do you guys need somebody to yell at people while they play this game? Like, because I can do that. Like, I can scream at them and tell them that they like did something wrong or whatever. And so I just hit up, at the time it was Kuma. I don't know if you guys know Kuma.
Yeah, I know Kuma.
Yeah, from the Duels of Runeterra Discord. And he's like, yeah, sure, man. I had cast my first time ever with this guy named All New Bagels, which
that's a mouthful. That's a mouthful, right? For sure.
He's not really on the scene anymore, I don't think. But he knew a bunch of the people. Like he knew who was this other? There was a couple other guys that aren't on the scene anymore, but they like knew Swim at the time too, because Swim was really the only face getting into the game. And they let me cast, and I must not have done that crappy, because then, but I just constantly in the Discord all the time, like, hey, I can do next week. Hey, I can do next week. And I don't know. I guess I had nothing else better to do at the time, because I did find a job when I started casting. I was already working a job, but I was still from, closing down the company. I still had it in my head, like, I need to have something else on backup. And I just kept doing it. So yeah, but right around July 2019 when I closed down the company, and then I started casting in December of 2019 or November, give or take, whenever first Duels of Runeterra was, or second Duels of Runeterra.
Okay. I mean that. Honestly, I'm sorry. I was chewing.
Nah, you're good. You're good. Those are some
but,
good. Those are some good ribs you had there. So I don't. Yeah.
Ribs,
definitely.
baby, ribs. We understand.
Bruh, I can't help it. It just the aroma is just in my nose, and I'm just like, bro, I can't
good.
not eat this. But nah, that was you know, that was a pretty. I mean, you pretty much just like crunched up your history for when you started casting into like a little summary, and that was it's crazy that you basically everything just like happened for you at once. Like you pretty much just like you lost your job, and then you basically looked at another opportunity and you were just like, nah, I'm doing this. This is happening, fam. And you just kept pushing, and it just, you know, I mean that I feel like that's how you got to do it though. You got to just keep going.
Sometimes you just got to go your own way, you know? You just have to make it happen, which is awesome. But can we rewind just a little bit? Because we talked about, you know, how awesome Spellmana was and how, like, this could be, like, a great new game. What is it about the game that you really liked?
Yeah, it was, I mean, the second I laid eyes on Spellmana, it was Spellmana.
Really?
Yeah, it was like that to me was the entire selling point of the game. It wasn't even that it was free. As I started to play more, I really started to appreciate the fact that it was free, because then it really, because I think at the time before Legends of Runeterra came out, everybody kind of had it in their head that to play a card game, you had to shell out money to get a good deck. Like that was just how card games worked.
Yep.
And so like, even though they were saying that, I don't think it really registered 100% in everybody's brain that like, oh yeah, you actually are going to play this for free. People probably thought like, oh yeah, they'll probably just give us like extra packs than normal, but like you'll still have to spend $200 to get all the cards. And like, no, you actually in like a month of playing, I had every card in the first set. But, like, and then I need like every single card, like the whole thing was collected. It wasn't just like just the cards I needed for a good deck. It was every card, so I could make any possible deck I wanted. And ever since then, same deal. So yeah, I think the Spellmana for the gameplay 100% sold me. Also, the stack itself reminded me of Yu-Gi-Oh a lot. In how things like you put everything on the stack or on the chain in Yu-Gi-Oh, and then they resolve backwards. So very, very similar. So that kind of was attractive to me as well. And then, yeah, once I started playing for a while, realized it actually was free and they weren't bullshitting us. Yeah, I kind of like it that much more. So
you're like, all right, they're not lying.
Man, that's cool. That's super cool.
That's dope, honestly. Cause like I said, I was interested in when you actually started casting. I was very interested because I feel like back then I was kind of in that Discord a little bit, but I wasn't really paying attention to it that much. But that's,
well, you know what's crazy? This is, you know what? If anybody that listens to this takes one thing away, I think that, like, when I first started, look, first off, I did a shit ton of research on like YouTube channels and being a streamer and stuff like that. And because I also had streaming that I was trying to do as well. So when I was unemployed still for a month or so, because I was only unemployed for like 3 or 4 weeks, I was streaming like every day. So I did a lot of research. And basically one of the biggest things I found with research was that when a new game comes out, you want to be the first person making content for that game. I told Swerve this earlier when we met up. And that was, I think, that luck thing coming together, that it just so happened to be right when I closed down the company with my father. And the game came out right then, was announced. And I was the first one to make content for it. Like, that worked. It was a perfect storm. But the other thing with casting, because it was a new game, there was no barrier to entry. Like, you know, when you see casters casting League of Legends or Call of Duty or something like that, you're like, holy shit, they know a lot about this game, right? Like, or if you see some of the casters for League of Legends are insane, right? Yeah. Like Captain
Flowers is out of his mind. Out of his mind.
I'm like, what did you just say?
He's awesome.
Like,
he's so good. Absolutely.
He just rattles it up, and you're like, holy shit, like, he must know everything about this game and be so good at this game. Well, first and foremost, most of those casters actually aren't that great at the game compared to the pro players. Some of them are really crappy. And that's not to, like, shit on them or anything. It's just that's the reality of it. But when the game first came out, when any game first comes out, there's nobody that's proven to be like the best at the game. Right? It's hard to sit there and be like, well, I know what I'm talking about over this guy. Well, this game just came out 3 weeks ago, so how can you really say that? Right? Like, nobody's really proven them. So at the time with Duels of Runeterra, literally anybody could have been like, hey, I'm down to cast, and they probably would have went with it. Like literally anybody. And that's what people I don't think understand. It's just about finding the opportunity and then shoving your face in front of people and being like, pick me. Like in dodgeball, like in high school, right? Like pick me.
Yeah.
And and then I just made sure my face was in front of them every week after that. I'm like, you know what? Now that they let me do this once, I am going to be the one that does this every freaking weekend as much as humanly possible. Mm-hmm. And then, I mean, it sucked because I never had a weekend for like a year and a half, but you know, it worked out. So,
well, it worked out.
I mean, we appreciate the effort, the consistent effort. It's a good thing to see.
I appreciate you guys appreciating my effort. I appreciate you guys giving a shit about what I have to say when I'm casting, to be honest with you.
Whoa. We didn't say that.
Whoa, no.
We didn't say that we care what you say when you cast.
Shit. I walked right into that. Oh, what am I doing? I walked right into that. All right, well, it was nice talking to you guys. I'll see you later.
It's all good. I'm a shyster. I'm a jokester. Forget what I said. It's fantastic what you're doing.
Nothing can be worse than casting them with Boulevard. Absolutely, nothing can be worse than that. So you guys are good.
Oh my lord!
Before like 2 or 3 days ago, I watched that video that you put on Twitter of you casting with Boulevard, and I was just like, yo, I just in tears, bro. I was in tears. And then listening to Boulevard's response to it, I was in tears, bro.
Dude, like that, there's another funny, bro. There's another luck part to it too, right? Like me and Boulevard, we always talk about this too. We'd be like, what the, like, how the hell did we end up like finding each other to cast with on a regular basis? It was so random, and it was so lucky that we just clicked like we did. You know, we can roll with the punches like we do in cast and stuff, and it's not easy to just like find somebody randomly like that, but we did, and it's worked out with that too. So that's like, see, you can see where the luck comes in and where the just you know, put your head down and do work comes in. Like it's a balance, you know, of a lot of different things. So
it is for the anybody that doesn't know, it is really lucky. And for the fact that you guys found out that you guys have so much chemistry, you guys can actually work together and it's not any problems or anything. That's a bond you keep, bro.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But all right, let's get into some serious questions here.
Oh, God.
There's no jokes here. So, Jay, what's your favorite emote in Runeterra?
I knew that was gonna be it. I knew it was gonna be it.
This is life or death
whenever
here.
Somebody says, whenever somebody says I have a really serious question about Runeterra, I'm like, I know this is gonna be about emotes. It's gonna be about emotes.
No, we're very serious. We take it dead seriously here. We do.
This is not a joke. Did you see my emote tier list? This is no longer a game. This is life.
Not messing around.
All right, I am gonna go with man, there's so many. They just keep adding more too. It's difficult. I'm gonna try to stick with this as my favorite for as long as possible, because I think when I was asked this last time, I said the same emote, and I'm gonna stick with it because it's like an OG thing for me, and that's the Nocturne emote because of Kaiba. Because Yu-Gi-Oh is like my first competitive game. So,
I can't hate on that one. That is a good emote.
Yeah, I can't hate on that one. It's at least A tier.
It just sucks because if you're using it a lot, it means you're losing a lot. So I don't know how much you can really love the emote, but it's the nostalgia feel more than anything for me. So
I mean, I've used that emote when I'm winning, because sometimes you're just like you're pretending you're them, you know, like, and kind of smack.
Okay.
It's the smack talk version of it. It's the smack version of it.
Yeah, if you're trying to BM them, I gotcha. Yeah, totally, 100%.
How about like of all the regions, do you have a favorite region to play, or cast slash watch?
So all right, so play and cast are two very different things. I think my favorite to play is P and Z. Because of the idea that there can be like these infinite, like I've always loved the idea of like a one-turn kill, or like the old school Karma Ezreal, like 20-0 stuff like that. As long as it's healthy, of course, or like Exodia type, you draw a lot in one turn. So I've always loved the idea of like Ezreal as a win condition, somehow calculating 20-0. And then Jay Medarda has been one of my favorite cards for so long that sucks so much because like the worst card in the game. But the idea now, especially with gems, is like, all right, you throw gems on Jay Medarda, you draw a lot, and then maybe with an Ezreal on the field, like I like that sort of strategy. So P and Z, and then like Funsmith, I've always liked, like adding the extra damage with Funsmith. So, but all these cards just so happen to be also very terrible, right? So, like they've never really seen play outside of Ezreal.
Yeah.
So, to cast, I've definitely gotten the question like my favorite deck to cast, but not my favorite region.
That's probably difficult. I think for casting, it's probably a somewhat unfair question.
No. Definitely not unfair. Nothing's unfair. Okay. I would say the favorite. All right. So there's two, and so it might also be P and Z, but I'll say Bilgewater just to make it vary. So the only reason I say P and Z is because of shrooms.
Yes.
The shrooms have led to some of the hypest moments that I've ever had casting. At the same token, when Bilgewater was good, rip Plunder and Pilfer and whatever the heck, all the freaking the stealing card Nab. Jesus, I couldn't remember the name of it. Since that's been bad, it hasn't really been as fun. But those were really hyped too, because you get like a make it rain and you're like, all right, fingers crossed. If this hits like he needs, he wins the game. If not, he loses.
Yes.
Or when you nab like this ridiculous card from your opponent's deck and it just so happens to synergize with your entire hand, you're like, holy shit, he just nabbed this card. Yes. They're never gonna know it's coming. Like those are those sort of hype moments, and it's ironic because those hype moments are also, they come from RNG, which is what I was trying to get away from with Hearthstone, which is ironic. But yeah, it's not as bad as it was in Hearthstone, in my opinion, which is why it's okay and it's a little bit more hype. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah, I think Runeterra has had its moments where RNG was just like way too much. The timelines with Ladros was a bit stupid, I think.
Yeah, that was rough.
That kind of took it a little too far. But other than that, I think they've reined in RNG being too much pretty well.
Yeah, I agree, and I like where the RNG is at right now. Like, not to segue or anything, but Lurk is a little questionable, in my opinion.
Yeah, we can segue into it, and I'm on board. I think Lurk is strange. It's a very strange mechanic that it's kind of like Watcher in a way, where you have to not only get that card out, swing with it to get maybe a benefit. It's weird.
Yeah, like, all right, so
that's capped as well. It's super weird.
Well, like, so, all right, Eric, what do you think? What are your what do you think about the new reveals? Out of curiosity, before I say anything, I want to know what both of you guys think about these new reveals first.
So, me personally, I was looking at all the cards. That 0 mana predict, that's spicy. I'm not gonna lie, that's spicy.
Okay. I like that one too. Yeah.
And also the 3 mana one is also it gives me like the damn, what's that 2 mana card from Shadow Isles? That
Stalking Shadows.
Stalking Shadows. It gives me the Stalking Shadow feels. Honestly.
Wait, which one feels like Stalking Shadow? The 3 cost burst spell?
Yeah. The one
Yeah,
that puts a card on top, and then you predict, and then you get an extra copy of it.
All right, yeah.
copy of it in your
careful
hand.
preparation. Careful
Yeah.
preparation.
That card right now is like awful. Like there's got to be a payoff for this archetype, because right now that card is just like pay 3 mana, it lose a card.
Well,
It's like
and don't win the game.
yeah, do not pass go. Why would you play this? So I'm waiting on why am I playing this?
No, I feel you on that. I feel you on that though. It's like there has to be some kind of payoff. It's probably Echo though. Honestly, it has to be Echo. It has to be. It legit has to be Echo.
Well, so do you think Echo is going to be built around the predict mechanic then? Is that what you're saying? Okay,
Yes.
yeah. Which makes sense because he's like time and all that stuff. So,
Mhm.
well, so correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, maybe I'm blind, but is that Kahiri in the picture of careful preparation? Like the
Yes.
student or something?
Yes.
Okay. So when I first read this card and didn't actually process anything in my brain, I'm like, oh, it says predict. There's Kahiri in the picture. Must be good for that deck, right? No, it's not. It doesn't. You don't get the thing. You don't proc Kahiri's effect using this card, and unless of course if you get the Kahiri in the predict, then obviously Kahiri will go off. But creating the copy, like I feel like it should work a little bit better with Kahiri, this card specifically, especially because you're paying 3 mana. Like maybe I don't know, just maybe like if it is Kahiri that you get out of your deck that you make the copy, like it also procs Kahiri's effect or something. I don't know. I'm just throwing shit out there, but that was the biggest thing with me with this. I'm like, I looked at it, I'm like, yeah, this is gonna make Kahiri really good. Wait, no, never mind. It's just a really expensive predict. Like I'd rather just play the Feral Presence or Pre-Science, whatever the heck that's pronounced as. The zero, yeah, the zero cost burst. Predict, like you said. Like to me, a 0 cost card means combo. That's like combo central.
Right.
So you want that card. So you might as well just play 3 of those instead of playing this careful preparation thing and go that route. So that was a little disappointing for me on that. But what do you guys think of Lurk though? Lurk.
I think we were talking about it earlier. I think Lurk it looks really weird right now, right? But I think, I'm hoping, right? I'm on this copium. Alright. This is gonna be a hot take. I'm not gonna lie, this is gonna be a hot take.
Oh, I love hot takes. All right, let's hear it. All right, I love this. Let's go. I'm strapped in. I'm ready.
This is about to be a hot take. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm just gonna take my headphones off, dude.
Swords like, I'm out, man. I'd sign up for this.
What? I gave a warning. Alright. But I'm on the copium train right now, right? So I'm hoping, right, that Rek'Sai has some kind of Lurk payoff. That's what I'm hoping.
That seems kind of obvious at this point.
Yeah. I mean, if it doesn't have a Lurk payoff, I'd be pretty pissed off, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I'd be a little disappointed.
I guess I'm kind of disappointed that, I mean, when they revealed the keyword, which I'm trying to pull it up right now, it specifically says max once per round.
Yes. That's what I was saying. There's never been another mechanic that was like, oh, you can only proc this once. It's
Scout.
Like, what?
You're wrong.
Well,
it's Scout.
Oh, yeah, Scout is only... Wait. Yeah,
no?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You can rally infinite times, but you can't, like, re-scout with your scouts.
Yeah,
like,
true.
Yeah, so...
True.
So, I don't know, like, to me, if they have to put on there max once per round, to me that means that the game designers thought that it was busted if they didn't max it at once per round. Like, they play tested it, and they're like, holy shit, if you do this multiple times per round, like, this is way too bad. And I don't, but now that it's once per round, I don't know that it's good enough. Like, I don't know if that's almost too much for it, because when I look at cards like, what was the other one they showed off? This big old beetle, Xerxes Dunebreaker. All right, it's got Lurk, it's got Overwhelm. So clearly this is like, all right, you buff this up, now it's a finisher.
It's supposed to be the finisher, right? But so, I gotta read exactly what Lurk says. So it's if there's a Lurker in the deck, when I attack, I get +1/+0. That's what it is?
No, so it's you don't know. This is the other weird thing, and I'm pretty sure this is how it works, but from the way that it sounds, it's if there's a Lurk unit on top of your deck, when you attack with any unit, then all other lurk units everywhere get +1/+0 for the rest of the game because it's grant, not give. Keep that in mind.
So it's buffing all of the units with lurk. That's kind of
grant lurker allies everywhere +1/+0. Now it says lurker allies, so I'm assuming that means any ally in your deck, in your hand, graveyard, everywhere, +1/+0 as long as they have that keyword and not just the one at the top of your deck, because otherwise then it would be really bad, I think.
Yeah, and we need to clarify that it's lurkers get the bonus, and lurkers is like the tribe that's at the top of the card. It's not the
that's
lurk
a good point.
keyword.
Sorry, I just noticed that until you pointed that out. I didn't even realize any of these cards said lurker at the top of them. I just thought, I just thought it was the keyword. That was it.
no, lurker is like it's the new
like a class.
The new class.
Okay, gotcha. Which means Rek'Sai will be a lurker. Okay, so this is like, all right. So that makes a little bit more sense. It's almost like playing a Yeti deck that buffs Yetis. Like, you know, it's lurkers. It's buffing lurkers. So yeah. So every time you attack when it's on top of your deck. So, like, what was the other one?
Can we pause just really quick and just, like, appreciate the fact that Eric and I both, like, nodded our head, like, yeah, we've played Yeti decks before. Fuck yeah, we've played Yeti decks.
Yeah, I just topped the tournament last week.
Kidding me, dude? Yetis. Okay.
Yetis and Elnos.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Carry on.
Oh
Carry
my
on.
god, yo. Don't even get me started on Elnux, bro. They literally, they violated Elnux.
They really did. They trashed that class.
Elnux got the shine for like literally what, a week or two, and then it was like, KO.
So I'm thinking, like, because now we have this other card, right? Snapjaw Swarm. That's the lurker that it's a 0/2 2-cost play. I start a free attack.
Blade
dance all over again. So I don't know if the idea with this lurk class might be like kind of like another sort of rush mechanic of we're gonna play cheap units because you have the Xerxes Hatchling, which is a 1-drop with Fearsome 1/1, right? And which can now get buffed up a lot because it's got lurk, right? So now it could be like a 4/1 Fearsome that came down on turn 1 by the time you attack. Like, that's pretty nuts. So I don't know if that's maybe the idea. You get a lot of these smaller lurkers on board, you attack, and now they're all really strong. They all have Fearsome or Overwhelm. But I don't know. It just seems questionable because even as the person playing the lurker strategy, you have no knowledge of what's on the top of your deck. Like, you can't like peek at the card and be like, okay, it's a lurker.
Yeah.
I know what I should do.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's luck of the draw. Either I get a buff or I don't. And
Bone
now it's
Skewer,
just,
right?
Okay. All right. Well, then, okay. Bone Skewer works with it. Yep, that's one way to make sure they go on top. So, but now you're forced into playing what, Shurima and Bilgewater. So, I guess the question now is just going to be like, are those two going to work well together? Like, is there a good Shurima Bilgewater deck right now?
No.
There's no good Bilgewater decks.
I feel like somebody trolled and made like a zillion Bilgewater deck and it slightly worked, but yeah, Bilgewater's just trash right now unless you're playing deep, right? So
yep.
I don't know. Maybe Pike. Maybe Pike does this thing where it's like pulls it to the top of your deck, right? Like, that's what, even before Pike came out, when we saw Bone Skewer, I feel like everybody was like, Pike's gonna do something with moving around in your deck. Like, that's, I feel like everybody thought that. So maybe that's what really pulls this whole lurk strategy together. It's not just Rek'Sai. It's, all right, Pike can manipulate the order of the cards in your deck, similar to Predict, but just in like a different roundabout way. So I'm curious to see what Pike looks like.
Yeah, that does seem pretty interesting. Doughy Nut in the chat saying Rek'Sai prediction, she always attacks with other lurkers. Interesting.
Like the Blade Dance thing.
Yeah, like Blade Dance. Doughy, I'm sick of that. Stop making that kind of suggestion.
From the deck, bro. That would be way too strong. Just I mean, a lurker attacks, you just see Rek'Sai, it just comes on the board.
I mean, listen, but think about how Rek'Sai's champ. So if there's one thing I know about Runeterra and their game design team, they stay very, very true to the League of Legends champion design.
Yeah, they try to.
They do a great job of that. So I don't know if you guys know Rek'Sai's old ultimate. Like, how long have you guys played League of Legends for?
been
way
playing since
too
Wukong came out.
effing long.
Yeah, like I should have stopped 5 years ago. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
So, so like her old ultimate was like the semi-global, like you just pop up in one of
Oh,
your
and
tunnels,
from one of the tunnels, yeah. Mhm.
and then now the new ultimate is similar, where you kind of like pop up, but it's in a shorter area, and you're actually attacking them, right? So I would not put it against them to have something that enables freaking Rek'Sai to just jump out of the deck, attack something, and then go back into the deck. Like,
maybe right on top, lurking there.
Yeah, maybe she comes out, attacks, and then goes on top, and now you guarantee that there's a lurker on top. So, it seems like that's the route they may go, and then we'll see about Pike. Or Doughy Nut. That's actually a good point. Yeah, maybe she only comes out of the deck if she's lurking on top, right? Like, so you have to. I mean, that seems really difficult to set up. Then, like, you have to predict and then attack, but I don't know if you want to throw that much predict crap in your deck just to get a Rek'Sai attack off.
Yeah,
like, depends on how strong she is, I guess. I don't know, man. This is gonna be fun to see these champions. I think the first one should be revealed tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking tomorrow. It should be Rek'Sai, honestly. It should be Rek'Sai.
Was she the first one that showed up in the video?
Yes.
I think it was her, then Pike, and then Echo,
Yes.
right? So
No, it was Rek'Sai first. It was Rek'Sai. Remember, she came out of the sand.
Yeah.
And then Pike came out of the ship, and then Echo was like, it's freezing
What's
time,
up?
XW.
Yeah. I'm cool, you guys aren't. I win.
Yeah, that's literally what happened though. He was like, I control time. Let's not play. Don't forget who I am.
I am really excited to get like another good PNZ champ though. So that's gonna be really, really cool. And then Rek'Sai and Pike, obviously. But Pike, I just want Bilgewater to be good again. Like, whatever happened.
There, dude. That used to be my favorite region. I used to love
cannon, bro. That's what did it all.
Riptide? Or what did they
took
nerf?
away a cannon from Riptide.
Oh, yeah, right. Oh.
That's what did it all. That is what nerfed the whole region.
And
Give Riptide Rex back the cannon. He deserves his cannon, fam.
Oh. And on top of that, now they took away a cannon. To put insult to injury, they even added a new deny spell that literally denies all of his cannons in one instance.
Stop
so it's like
Stop.
It's like
Rip.
Come on, man.
Stop.
It's Rip.
Yeah, Rip is right. Yeah, see, even Doughy Nut is like, I'll take a tier 3 deck. Like, yeah, I'll take a tier 8 deck at this point. So it works.
Something works, bro. But honestly, I'm kind of on the same boat as you. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm looking forward to Pike, and I am looking forward to Rek'Sai. But Echo though, I'm ready for that. That's what I'm waiting
most
for.
excited for. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy me some Ezreal. I mean, it ain't called the Mystic Shop Podcast for nothing.
I think that with all of these like lurk mechanics and stuff, they're gonna try to make some of these champions be like good versions of Katarina. Like in the way where you play her at a tempo loss, and your opponent emotes you for playing such a stupid champion.
I'm sorry, wait. Who is this Katarina thing you speak of?
It's a Noxian follower.
It's the follower. Okay.
Yeah,
it's the 3-mana rally. You forgot it, right? Yeah, it doesn't.
Oh wait, that's Relentless Pursuit. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. 3 mana. Yep.
Okay, yeah. Okay, cool.
But it's kind of got that sort of vibe, I guess, a little bit of like replayability. Like coming at you fast and then retreating and going back in. Like a lot of those champions do that. So like Echo for sure does that. And Rek'Sai, obviously, for sure. So,
yeah, and I think,
Pike too, yeah.
I think Ezreal Zillion, or not Ezreal. Jesus, now I'm thinking Ezreal. Echo Zillion, I think, is going to be very obvious of like a synergy. To have PNZ and Shurima be a thing, because they both obviously are time-based champions. They're in different regions. So and a lot of their cards can work together as well. Like I think it might even allow some sort of Funsmith type strategy, like time bombs with something like Funsmith on the field. All of a sudden, really, really fun, right?
You got mom head cooking now.
I'm just saying, man. Listen, I'll be the first one to try to make Funsmith and Jay Medarda work somehow. I don't know how, but I'm gonna do it.
Like, yo, this gotta. You know what, Riot? I see what you're doing. I got you. I'll make it work.
Oh, guys, so I'm gonna put this video up. So, did you guys catch the caster tournament that Cephalopod threw up?
I haven't watched any of that yet either,
charity?
But I knew about what was going on. Yeah.
No, well, I don't think they casted. I don't think they casted this game that I played, but one of the games, I think it was. I want to say it was versus Skarzig. I'm not really sure who I played, but I was playing Ezreal Victor with Jay Medarda. And yeah, right. So the idea is to get Ezreal, Victor, and Jay Medarda all on the field. You play Call of the Mountain to get a handful of gems, and then you just
God.
So
it's
so that's the idea.
Having a good time.
So difficult to actually get off this combo though, because think about what I just said. You need a leveled Ezreal, a level 2 Victor, and a Jay Medarda sticking on the field, somehow surviving. But one game I actually got it, and I gemmed all on my Ezreal as well. So I had like a 13 attack Ezreal going in. I just did 10 damage to the face, adding like all of the gems on, and then I attacked for 13 to the face and generated a mystic shot. Like GG's. So it was one of the fun victories I've ever had. But like, that's how I feel like PNZ should feel, is like this crazy OTK combo type thing. And I think ever since they nerfed the hell out of Karma, it's just not happening. Just not happening lately, unfortunately.
Honestly, I don't even think it was the nerf to Karma. I think it was more TLC's existence.
Yeah.
There's that. Yeah, there's that. But so, like, we've talked about some of the reveals. What about maybe some of your guys' hot takes on, like, reworks to cards that already exist, or balance changes based on, you know, some of the older cards getting buffed?
I mean, we already know this man. This man's on the Jay Medarda train.
Okay. All right. So it's one vote for Jay Medarda. Got it.
I mean, I don't know. I wasn't really. I didn't really think about. Any reworks in terms of like in general. Wait, is Jay still there?
I think he froze up, man. Not sure.
Damn. Hopefully he comes back.
Yeah.
But I didn't really think about any like reworks in terms of before the patch drops or anything. Honestly, I would have just been happy with anything that showed up. But I just hope that they maybe look at some Bilgewater cards, change them a bit, just a little bit. You know, I think they need some help, guys. Just a little bit.
I mean, I'd love to see Bilgewater get some support, so I agree 100%. That's not necessarily deep support either. Like, deep seems like it's gonna be at least okay no matter what happens.
Yeah.
But like, see, everybody's all like, all right, freaking nerf Aziralia into the ground, like boo that deck, or like Watchers OP or whatever. I'm less concerned about those strategies being OP. I mean, maybe Aziralia, the play rate is still pretty through the roof, so like I understand for the sake of getting more diverse decks out there, maybe you make a slight change again to Aziralia, but especially after Aurelia got buffed again. So,
bruh,
but like,
get me started.
but like cards like Jay Medarda, like the guy, I can't remember the name, that creates Shadow Assassins in hand or something, or the Shadow Fiends. Like, I don't even remember.
Ren,
Shadowblade.
Like all those cards need to be playable. There's so many low play rate cards. Like, Iceborne Legacy is something that I had a lot of fun with before it got nerfed.
Yeah, you remember that?
It was 3 mana fast, right?
3 mana burst. It was burst. And it was like, oh, what the heck did it do? What does it do now? Is it still burst?
No. It's slow speed.
Now it's slow speed.
It's 5 mana slow speed +2/+2.
Yeah, so back then it was 3 mana burst +1/+1 to all.
That's kind of
And
nuts with Elnux back then, huh?
it was insane with like Elnux or like Poros. Like there was a lot of it made Poros would probably be like really good right now if that was the case. But I don't know. There was a lot of different combos that you could do with that. But like cards like that, they need some sort of change. And I understand there's certain cards like Brood Awakening. It's kind of at that 5.5 mana that they had said one time in a patch update where if it's 6 mana, it doesn't really feel too playable. If it's 5 mana, it feels a little too busted. So it really needs to be 5.5 mana, but there's no way to make 5.5 mana cards. So it just kind of sits in limbo, and they can just change it to 5 whenever they feel like it if they want a spider meta. Like, you know, it's just, it is what it is. So I know some cards are like that, but if that's the case, maybe they just need to get completely redesigned. And I think they were doing a lot of that when the game first came out. We used to get some big patch updates where, yeah, they'd ban, or not ban, Jesus, my Yu-Gi-Oh days. They might nerf some stuff. They might nerf like some strong cards, but you'd have a much longer list of buffed cards or reworked cards to make them playable and bring them into viability. And I don't think we've really seen that for a long time, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, it is unfortunate that I think Riot, they were saying like they didn't want to make small little changes and stuff like that. But I think us as players, we were always looking forward to things like that.
Oh yeah,
honestly, we were looking forward to like, oh, this card got buffed one attack. All right, boys, it's time to try Karma again. Let's go. Get her up on the ladder. I don't care.
I would love that type of game where every couple of weeks something is a little bit tweaked. Something is a little bit different, you know? I mean, they have that kind of patch cadence with League of Legends already where they're tweaking champions every 2 weeks anyway. So, yeah. I mean, possibly maybe you just bring it here, but no, yeah, I miss those small changes. Like back in the day when Solitary Monk lost an attack, I'm like, I could have lived with that card staying the same, but I'm glad that they were looking at the numbers of the card and went, yeah, this card's kind of crazy. Like, we got to do something about it. And then they did.
Mm-hmm.
I think with that one, they just realized elusive was crazy.
Yeah.
They're just like, we need to, all these elusive units, let's just tone it down a little bit. A little less attack there.
Yeah, one by one, they just kind of smacked them all down and they... Yeah.
And like Encroaching Shadows, I remember when Encroaching Shadows came out, absolutely everybody was like, I remember like Swim, I think, his very first stream when that set dropped was like, all right, I'm going to make a degenerate Elusives Encroaching Shadows deck and just wreck with it. And it ended up being terrible. Like the deck just never took off. It's trash. Like, and that card, as much potential as it looks like it has, looking at the card, Ephemerals themselves have always been, kind of a hard archetype to work with and actually build anything around, even with something like Hecarim. I mean, Hecarim was insanely good at one point and everybody played it, but it wasn't because Ephemerals were good. It was just because Hecarim was a giant overwhelm unit that made a bunch of tokens when he attacked. So it's like, yeah, of course that's good. Like, it doesn't matter what you do or what type of deck that's in, it's going to be good. Yep. So yeah, just those cards, man. I think if they made, I don't think people mind more changes, like you guys said, right? Like, I feel like everybody's okay with constant every 2 weeks. Like, that was the problem with Hearthstone. Hearthstone took forever to make changes to some stuff sometimes back in the day. Like, it'd take, or not back in the day. When it first started, they made a lot. But I'd say, like, maybe 2 or 3 years into the game, it took forever for them to make changes. One of the reasons I lost a little bit of interest in that game.
Yep, it got stale. And I just don't want that from Runeterra. I just don't want things to get stale. And I feel like that's what happened. I don't know how you felt about metas like Go Hard, because I feel like that left a really bad taste in my mouth.
You didn't like Go Hard?
Nah, it wasn't my flavor. And playing what countered it was so goddamn hard because it was 1 mana clear your board.
Yeah, that it was a little toxic. Well, I mean, was it the KDA cards? Was it that little mini set release that you didn't like, or was it just the actual archetype Go Hard that was?
No, I didn't mind KDA because I mean I've heard a lot of people also say that they were like, oh, where did these KDA cards come from? Yeah. No, I didn't mind KDA. I actually like the KDA stuff from League of Legends, so I didn't mind that. And also the artwork and Kaisa and stuff like that. That was fine.
Their
That was
album
fine.
is fire, by the way. I freaking love those songs. Just saying.
But that all that was fine. It was just how Go Hard interacted with the game. It was just like,
Yeah.
bro, this is just ridiculous. Like it's
Yep.
just meta warping. I feel like that's what I mean, again, this could be a hot take. I don't know how other people feel about this, but I don't think people like when a meta is warped around a certain deck. Like how Aziralia was. People like diversity. People like, oh, there's like 10 different decks I can play and climb with or whatever.
Yep.
Rather than like, oh, I have to either play this deck or counter with what it does. Like that doesn't feel good to play. Doesn't feel good. That was like, I don't know if you remember like Darrowing when they made literally.
I loved Darrowing, by the way. I loved that deck.
I did too.
Cancer. It was cancer.
It was
okay. I was about to lose my mind. Okay.
It was just clear math.
Yeah.
It was just clear. It was like this card does 6, this card does 4, this card does 2. You only got 20 health.
You have
2 equals 4 and I win.
You have until turn 6 to decide if you want to continue. You know, that's what that is.
But to be honest, I didn't mind Darrowing as much, to be honest, because you know it was fine. I mean,
Go Hard. So you said something like playing against it was kind of a pain in the ass, and I agree with that because to me, I remember a lot of Go Hard games where if I was playing the deck that countered Go Hard, a lot of the times, oddly enough, if you were playing somebody that was like, you know, really good or like knew how to pilot Go Hard really well, you'd have to almost play to like, you'd have to play the strategy of, okay, you have Nopifies and Denies, you just never let them get off Go Hard, or like you're playing, you know, Barrier or Demacia Ionia, and or you play some like Targonian deck that you just like outlasts them and outlives them to the point where they literally deck out even though they played Go Hard, and it's some really weird end of the game that like I remember seeing What Am I play some weird games against Go Hard with Targon, because like What Am I is great with playing Targon, and the way that he would win those games is so 10-headed. It's like for a normal player and like Plat or even maybe even some Diamond players, it's difficult. It was very difficult to actually command a victory against Go Hard in the long game, because that was what Go Hard wanted, was to play the long game, because they generally couldn't deck out, but there was certain ways around that. And yeah, so I wasn't crazy. I mean, I will say Go Hard was a fun deck to play too if you knew how to pilot it, because it won all the time. But but I don't think that was. I always with Go Hard, it was always Twisted Fate, I think, was the problem, and pick a card and stuff like that. Like that was the real issue that I think they took care of with Burblefish and all that, when everybody the Mind Meld decks and they finally nerfed that. And Twisted Fate Fizz, like that deck is much more balanced but still playable. And I think it was really Twisted Fate that had a lot to do with the Go Hard meta. But yeah, I agree. I don't want stuff warping around one deck, so we'll see if the Aziralia. Right now, it's warping around really 3 decks, I guess, like TLC, Thresh Nasus, and Aziralia, which is, I mean, I don't know if warping around 1 versus 2 or versus 3 is really a difference, to be honest with you. Like, I think if it's like 5, I think is when we have a good meta. If there's 5 core decks that you constantly are having to like kind of prepare for and play against, I think it's a pretty healthy meta. And right now, it's really just 3 and whether or not you can counter them.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Draven Ezreal is kind of like a... Man, Draven Ezreal's just been around since forever, though. Like that.
Yeah, I think that
like...
they might end up nerfing that deck just because it's been so good for so long and they don't know what to do about it. You know? Like, they might do, like the Fiora treatment, you know?
Yeah, so what? Draven becomes a 3-2 then? Like that's
possibly, yeah.
That would be, because that's the problem is Draven. Like Draven's a freaking he's like one of the best champions in the game. Like a 3/3 for 3 with quick attack on its own is really good. Now you get free fodder generation for like rummage and crap like that. That's insane. Especially you get one on play. Like he doesn't even have to strike. You just get one immediately. It's such a good card.
I think they just take away if they want to. I mean, to be honest, I love Draven Ezreal. That's been the deck that I've played for so long. But if you were gonna nerf the deck, the best nerf, in my opinion, is to probably just take away Draven's ability to get it on play.
Ravenous flock. Anybody?
Oh
No?
my god! I used to be on that train. I used to be on that train, but I mean, you know what? I'll just let Swerve take it away.
Okay.
He loves Swain. So he's
Listen.
never gonna say flock.
For it not being nerfed.
What are you gonna do to it? 2 mana?
I mean, I don't know. It's hard.
That's it. That's the only thing you can do. You cannot make it 3 damage. It'd be stupid.
Yeah, it doesn't really jive with everything. With like, you know, because whenever I look at damage spells like that, I always try to compare it to like other similar spells from other regions, right? So like every region, like you have Get Excited versus Black Spear versus, you know, all the other 3 or 4 damage, like 3 cost stuff, right? They all have their triggers and whatever. But that's the problem with that one is I think though that it costs 1 mana, right? Like what if you compare it to the other 1 mana options, nothing even comes close to dealing 4 damage for 1 mana. Like nothing in the game. So I don't know. I mean, 3 damage. Would 3 damage be that bad for 1 mana still?
I don't
mean,
see
I don't
the
know.
difference. I honestly, I think it still does almost the same thing. Like, what is it? Like, if they don't nerf Azir's health, which why would they
Yeah,
not?
Oh, that's it.
You know,
That I think-
then I don't really see the difference. Go ahead, make it 3. I think it still performs similarly.
Yeah, because actually then being able to one-shot Azir, it's actually everybody just plays Ravenous Flock no matter what. You know, and why the heck, if you have Soraka, like, I feel like Soraka if you're going off of League of Legends, Soraka should have the highest health. I don't know who thought to have Azir have the same matching health as Soraka. That makes 0 sense to me. Like,
Yeah, I agree.
having 4 makes a lot of sense, because, all right, Soraka's number 1, Azir, still pretty tanky, but like 4 health is still respectable.
Soraka's a 1/6.
Like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, but like it should not be that close. It should not be 5 health and 6 health. That seems way too close for Azir, because in League of Legends, Azir does a lot of damage. Like,
Yeah.
he's not necessarily like a tank or something like that. Like, he does AP damage. He builds AP, right?
Yeah.
So, like, why does that mean give him a lot of health? Like, I don't know where that came from. Like, that just doesn't make sense to me, I guess.
The
But
desert is vast. I don't.
good explanation. Good, I like
The
it.
desert is vast. That's all I can say.
Whenever something doesn't make sense, the desert is vast. It's vast out there, bro. It's vast out there.
Oh
Right.
man.
We gotta wrap it up.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap it up. So, Swerve, do you have anything else to add?
I just want to, thank Jdoza for coming again. It's an honor to meet him in person, and everybody's got to hit up his socials. Find him on Twitter. Find his website. We will link that in our media's uploads of this as well, and
Of course.
his Twitch, his YouTube. Get over there. The guy's great. He's really putting in the good work for the game. That's what we like to see around here.
Of course, and you can plug in.
Plug it in.
Plug it in, bro.
Plug
it in.
Watch my stuff. I don't know.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Fight night, bro.
All right.
What
Listen.
you mean?
Listen, what I will say is anybody listening, and to you guys too, right? I expect to see anybody that I know or have ever talked to or met in this community at Worlds, whether you qualified for it or not, get there. I don't know where it's going to be yet, and I'm really hoping it's going to be a LAN event, so this is by no means like, I know it's going to be LAN because I have 0 clue. But if it is LAN, I expect to see everybody there so I can meet you in person. That's really my plug there. I want to meet more people in person because it was cool seeing Swerve today in person. Although it's really weird. Don't ever use your first name again, please. That was really weird. I can't deal with that. I have a hard enough time with everybody else's first names when they randomly use them. Oh man, but yeah, like I don't know, man. It was cool, and I'm very excited to see everybody at different events and stuff like that. But yeah, check out my YouTube, my Twitch, stuff like that. We are doing OLSs like now that the seasonals are over. I don't know if it's gonna be this weekend or next weekend, but those are gonna start popping back up again. So myself and Boulevard will be casting those, and we got some good stuff coming in the future too in the next couple of months. Big things happening. that I can't say anything really about yet, but good stuff to come. So
Like
very happy.
like NDA can't say it, or
yeah.
I am excited for this and I want it to be a surprise. Like what is it?
Like I'm a little bit of both. Yeah.
Okay, all right, fair. That's fair.
No. You're not gonna hustle him down. Be like, yo, bro, what's the scoop, bro?
well, you see, no, I wish dude, if I would be the first person to blow that shit up out there, like you have no idea. But I am excited, but I cannot unfortunately say anything just yet. But and actually, because Swerve said before he didn't know, this actually I do kind of want to plug, which is really just helping out Mobalytics if anything. I do the pro guides for Mobalytics. A lot of people don't know this because you have to have a pro membership to see this, but if you have a pro membership, one of the things you get with that membership is all the tier list decks, not all of them, but most of them, especially all the S tier ones, they have a video guide, and I do those video guides. So they have an editor that helps me out as well, but I do the voiceover and the script and stuff like that, and I put that together for them, and they're good, especially like anybody listening who's in iron, bronze, and silver, obviously, but gold and platinum probably could even learn some stuff from these videos. So just newer people playing the game, just basics with some decks, like just what to play on turns 1 and 2, what you want to mulligan for, how you're finishing the game. Like Draven Ezreal, you want Farron on 8, play the decimates, like stuff like that. For people that might be new or just trying to really get into that competitive part of the game. So I will plug that real quick because Swerve didn't know about it. I was disappointed earlier, Swerve. Jesus, unbelievable. That's all right. I don't expect you to know anything about it. It's fine.
Man, I don't need to pay for no Mobalytics. Figure this out on my own.
Trust me, I don't expect you to.
But we appreciate you coming on. Appreciate you coming on, Jay. But yeah, so that's it. We're gonna be here next week, same time, same place, guys. We always say we start at 9, but do we actually?
Hell no.
Never start at 9, bro. All right, we'll see everybody next week. Man, yeah. Catch you guys then.
Later.
Later.